A man weighing only around 135 pounds yet capable of generating strikes so fast, so explosive and so devastating that even trained fighters twice his size were left stunned and unable to react. That man was Bruce Lee. But what most people don't realize is that behind Bruce Lee's legendary martial arts wasn't just speed, wasn't just strength, but something far deeper, the physics of movement. Bruce Lee wasn't simply throwing punches and kicks, he was applying the hidden laws of physics in ways that most martial artists never understood. And today we are going to break down the real science behind Bruce Lee's most powerful kung fu strikes, from the famous one-inch punch to his lightning-fast sidekicks, so you can see why his fighting ability continues to shock the world even decades after his passing. Bruce Lee and the science of power. When we talk about Bruce Lee, people often describe his speed, his charisma, or his philosophy. But Bruce Lee was also a student of science. He read books on kinesiology, physiology, biomechanics, and even physics, applying them to his martial arts. He wasn't content with tradition alone, he wanted to know why something worked and how to make it better. At the core of Bruce Lee's power was an understanding of how energy transfers through the body. In physics, this is often described through Newton's laws of motion. Force equals mass times acceleration. Energy transfer happens through kinetic chains, and momentum can multiply when used correctly. Bruce Lee may not have explained his strikes with equations on a chalkboard, but he lived and trained in a way that embodied those principles. His body became a perfect machine for turning small amounts of mass into devastating amounts of force. The secret of the one-inch punch. Let's start with his most famous demonstration, the one-inch punch. At first glance, it looks impossible. How can someone deliver so much power with so little distance? The answer lies in physics. When most people throw a punch, they rely on a big wind-up. They pull their arm back, generate momentum, and then drive forward. But Bruce Lee understood that power doesn't just come from distance, it comes from acceleration and the efficient use of the body kinetic chain. In the one-inch punch, he connected his feet, legs, hips, core, shoulders, and arm in one explosive burst. Think of it like cracking a whip. The whip handle barely moves, but the energy transfers through the length of the whip until the tip breaks the sound barrier. Bruce Lee used his body the same way. Even though his fist only traveled a few centimeters, the chain reaction through his body magnified the force. He rooted his stance into the ground, pressed explosively with his legs, twisted his hips and core, and snapped his arm forward with perfect timing. From a physics perspective, his one-inch punch worked because of impulse, force applied over a very short time. The smaller the contact time, the larger the force experienced by the target. By striking with perfect relaxati,